Hey there, Regina Allen here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. This week, we're talking about your superpowers. So, what are your superpowers? It's that thing you do better than anybody else. It's that thing that really sets you apart. It's based off of your core genius. When we talk about your core genius, it's all of those skills. Well, your superpower is that one thing, that thing that stands out above all the rest that you do better than anybody else. But most people don't actually, we'll say, capitalize on their superpower. They kind of hide it. Why do they do that? Because most of us don't think of our superpower as our superpower. We think about our superpower as something we just automatically do. It comes natural to us. Other people, however, see it as your superpower. Other people go, wow, you do this so well. You do this better than anybody I've ever worked with before. You explain things better. You solve problems better. You create better strategies than anybody I know. You solve problems with, my health or whatever it is. There's something that you do that comes absolutely natural to you that you may not even be considering is your superpower. So I wanted to give you a few tips today on how to discover that superpower. And the first one is track your wins. When you're working with a client, what results are you most proud of? That is a clue to your superpower. It's those things that you do, again, that provide the results, provide the transformation that others don't get for them. It's because you do things differently. You do things special. It's your superpower. Another way, tip number 2, is to use a strength tool. There's a bunch of them out there. You've probably heard of personality tests before. So personality tests are great for understanding how you operate and how you work. There's one, it's a free one called 16personalities.com, kind of like a DISC assessment, if you've ever done one of those. And it gives you an idea of, where you stand as, are you the director type that is, focused on work, want everything done? Are you the compassionate type? Are you the empathetic type? What type of person are you? It gives you clues to your superpower because every one of us is different. There's another survey that I highly recommend. It's called the VIA Character Strength Survey, VIA. And I'm going to put these links right underneath this once we're done here. And the VIA Character Strengths, what it does is there's 24 character strengths according to VIA Institute. And what it does is it ranks your strengths based on your answers to the survey. So I've taken this test, the survey, a number of times over the past 10 or so years. And every time I take it, something shifts. I just recently took it because I knew I was going to talk about it today. And I hadn't done it for at least 5 years. And it was actually really interesting to me that my number one character strength showed up as creativity. I would have never thought that, but apparently based on my answers and based on what I did, creativity came up as number one. Now, when I stop and think about that, I'm like, wow, it's actually right. But I don't consider that because it's just something that I do naturally. So what are those things that you do naturally? Those 16personalities.com tests there and the VIA Character Strength, they can help you uncover it. Now, of course, we can always use AI to help as well. And one great way to use AI is with testimonials. So there is nobody better who can tell you what your superpower is than your clients, than other people, even friends and family. Those are the people who see your strengths that you discount. You just think of them as, well, yeah, it's just what I do. It's just what you do for you. For somebody else, that's your superpower. It's something that you do naturally that helps them get their result, helps them get their transformation. So if you have a bunch of testimonials, you can take those testimonials and run them through AI and say, based on all of these client testimonials, what would you say are my top 3 strengths? And let that clue you into your superpower. As you bring that through, if you're using ChatGPT with the memory and you've been using it for some time, You might even be able to just go into ChatGPT and say, based on everything you know about me to date, what would you consider to be my number one superpower? And see what it gives you for an answer. It might give you something that you were not expecting whatsoever, or something you're like, well, yeah, I just do that because it's a natural thing for you. The thing is that when you own your superpower and you talk about your superpower, you lead with your superpower, that's when the magic happens of the people that you really want to attract and connect with are attracted and connect. So you want to make sure you know what that superpower is. It's really important, actually. And another prompt you can use is what's one thing that clients always say I do better than anyone else? Now, a couple years ago now, this happened to me because I had no clue. I literally had no clue. I was teaching classes, I was doing my thing, and multiple people in testimonials came back saying how easy I made everything to understand. Completely discounted it. I was like, well, yeah, that's what I do. Well, it turns out that's actually my number one superpower, that I can make complex things easy to understand. That's a huge superpower. And I didn't even mention it. I never talked about it. I never did anything with it because I didn't even know I had it, because it was just something I did naturally. So what's that thing that you do automatically and naturally that maybe your friends, your family, your clients are picking up on, that you're not even considering to be that superpower, but it really is? If you need to, go poll your clients and ask them, what is that number one thing that you think I do best? And see what their answer is, because you might be surprised what they come back with. It might be something completely different from what you were thinking. And when you discover that, start talking about it. Put it in your posts, put it in your blogs, put it in your bios. Put in that superpower so people understand that that's one of those things that makes you stand out from everybody else. That's what I've got for you today. We'll see you next week on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Bye for now.